Here we go again. I'm going to have to find a whole nother job. It sucks because I was working fine, and then here is an illegal termination that happens, and you let go of a good worker because that's basically what happened. They let go of a good worker. So now I'm on this joyride of finding another job because it is near December and it's getting colder and colder, and I definitely have to go out there and seek another job. So, I mean, living in High Point, there has been a job decrease because of the amount of people that live within the city. I think High Point has like less than 3 million people within the city. It's the city is growing, but it's starting to increase in businesses and jobs now because of the local school that we have called High Point University. If you've seen it before, for those who do not know, there's a university here called High Point University that is just recently started to um, bring in more revenue and for the city because it's basically their city merging um, with a university and the city itself. So Nito Kibane is the president of High Point University, and he's been delivering hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars into the city's education fund in order to enhance more education within the city. His goal is to actually do something else totally different, but I want to stay focused on the fact that I actually having to go out there and look for employment again, and I absolutely want to just make. I just want to make money online. Like I like making money online. I love working at places and working with people also, but as you get older, it's like nobody is going to, of course, um, always treat you like you want to be treated. No one is always going to be treated like the way they want to be treated. But you can also affiliate yourself around the people who are in the same concept as you when you're working. You want to be working with someone with a good mind, someone with common sense. You want to work with someone who can count, who can read. And unfortunately, when you get to work, you're ended up working with different um, um, people from different backgrounds, ethics, relationship standards, and things like that. So I've never had a problem finding a job or a problem working or keeping a job, but I've had many jobs. And I can't, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Some job I've had I didn't. Okay, I haven't had a problem keeping a job for my sake. I've had a problem dealing with other people who should not be keeping that job. That's the problem that I've been having to deal with in my lifetime. Um, Besides the racial issues that people go through and that I've experienced every single day, and besides the fact that you have to provide your own transportation to work, besides the fact that whatever you're going through, you're just going to have to make it to work, which is absolutely understandable because I've never had that issue. But I have had an issue. I mean, I've had some issues getting to work and things like that, but bottom line is that I made it to work. So that's the only thing that really should matter to anybody. That's what I'm trying to say. That's the only thing that should really matter to anybody, is actually coming to work on time, and your production is where it should be, and your attendance, it's where it should be, and things like that. So I mean, I don't really see why I wouldn't make a good fit in a company that I chose to work in, especially if I know that I meet those requirements, and there's not much training you have to do. And even if you do have to train someone, those jobs will train you, and you will know how to work whatever they tell you to work on. But I have to go back out there and find a job. I don't have to go back out there. That's the thing. This is totally my life, a whole different type of story. So, I mean, I can't tell you to go out there and you have to find one. What makes you happy the most is making sure that you are able to get what you need and want, and still be able to manage what you have, because not everyone has the success story to where it was just given to them, or they had help from this person or help from that person. But if long as you just know when to use your brain, like common sense, if you know when to spend this and when to spend that, when not to touch this, when to eat this and when not to eat this, how much to save, things like that, you have to just know within yourself where to go for help, and stuff like that. I have to do that stuff all over again. Now, you don't necessarily have to work at with other people at an actual job for a company with other employees, pulling out the minimum wage that the government is actually giving you. Some people just are people person, but do not want to be around people because of how sensitive they are, which is very. It makes sense, because why would you put yourself in a position to where you know yourself more than they do, and if you continue to stay around that person, then something may happen. That's what people just don't realize. It's not the end of the world if you get to a situation and you feel like you don't want to work, and that reason is because it's just with like other people, or you get tired and you need to rest, and the fact that you go to work every day, and you may need some time off, consider working at home then. you know um I like making my money online and through YouTube, because you just can't go wrong. You have your space when you're working online. You have your privacy. You have your time for you to think. You have your time for you to get your rest when you need it. You have your time to make as much money as you need and as you want, without waiting the end of the week or your first two paychecks. That's the issue. If you can find, there are so many other ways that you can, if I'm reaching anyone right now in this video, if you're able to find another way to make money without you actually getting up early to go to work in the morning when you're too tired, which is a health issue, because if your body is telling you that you're tired, then it's time for you to consider resting, because that is going to interfere with your work and how you perform in your duties. This is why I say find other ways of income to draw in, so that you won't have to rely on that or just that. You can still work, you just may want to have other incomes come in, because if something happens and there's a storm and you can't go to work, or something happens and you're not able to go to work, or you get fired or terminated or something, you need other sources of income. Now, it would be great that you're saving the money that you're working on and putting it to the side, but wouldn't it be great if that you had that money that you did not touch, and also had other sources of money coming in? Like, even when you were sleeping, money was still flowing and coming in. That's what I actually like. I consider myself having. I consider myself having a job that is like that. Now, I'm not gonna be. Too blunt with this, because there are multiple jobs out there in the industry that will require your skills that you would definitely give up staying at home or um, working or flipping burgers somewhere. You would literally take a job in the industry, and I would definitely would take a job in the industry. Um, I would definitely take a job working at a computer desk, behind a desk, answering phones, and things like that. But you see, a lot of people have processes to get these jobs, which is not a big deal, but people want money now, and changes now, and you may need to make some changes and start working. You have to start somewhere. It doesn't matter if it's a temp agency, if it doesn't matter if as long as you can start somewhere to get where you need to go, then it should be a big issue. Now, people's big issues are trying to do all this and still balance it with trying to find somewhere to go and trying to find somewhere to eat and where they're going to get the clothes and where they're going to take their shower. Like, you have to think about that within people who don't have anything. So for those who don't have any sources of help, there like family members and things like that, then you might need to consider staying with someone, but the best option is to go to a shelter, because then you won't have to worry about you don't have to worry about being an extra load on someone who cares about you. You know, there's people that care about me that don't want to see me out there on the streets and anything like that. So I mean, they will invite me into their home, but sometimes I feel like, wow, okay, my heart is, I would let someone come and stay with me, but at the end of the day, you have to have the right person come stay with you. Now, that's the thing. You have to have the right person come live with you. And if you don't, then you might stumble in some areas that you didn't even feel like you were going to be stumbling in, because if you had like a great heart and you didn't even see it coming. But not saying that's not a good idea. I'm just saying you might want to consider just going into a shelter or something, just doing something like that. Or go to a family member and really have a goal set when you get there. Like, when you get there and someone lets you stay with them, stick to the goal, because then that's where some issues and problems may occur, because they feel like you're not living up to what you were promising, or you're going to get distracted easily. That person might know that you might get distracted easily, but before you might get distracted easily if you do not stick to your goal when you're staying with someone else in their own place. You want to at least make sure that you have what you have saved without them knowing. Don't even let them know that you have this amount saved or anything like that. You need to let them know how much you are giving them while you are staying there, if that was the agreement. And if that was not the agreement, then okay, good for you. That's an even more prosperous time for you to grow, because you now have multiple things that you can use to enable you to get where you're trying to go. So I mean, just going out there to find a job may not be this. There's a girl right now who I subscribed to my YouTube channel, and she lives out there in California. She lives out there, yeah, in California, and she she has her subscribers. She's getting her paycheck, and things like that, off of YouTube and things like that. But she has other sources of income, but she cannot find a job in Los Angeles. And she has a degree. She has the personality, and everything. Every job that she's gotten, a boss tells her that she deserves better because of her lifestyle. Now, that should tell you something. That's why I was telling y'all that it'll be the type of person that can make it anywhere. You see, you have to be that way, because if you are, then what can be your roadblock for a long period of time? Nothing. Nothing can be your roadblock for a long period of time, because you have the type of mindset that knows how to navigate through obstacles and things like that. So, hey, I mean, we all go through things, that are different, but it's how you come up. How do you get yourself back up again? Um, I hate this step. Like, I thank God so much that He's given me the opportunity to um, think about other resources and think about what to use and where to go, how to use my brain and things like that. How to talk to people and all of that stuff. My resume is already, it's been done. Cover letter been done. Um, I'm just it kind of hit me like out of the middle of nowhere when I was terminated from a job. Um, Again, I'm not going to get back into that, but I have some people with the Human Resource Department investigating through this because his wrongful termination literally cost me um, my own place, and it cost me a diet change because I was a vegan. And I mean, it really, I'm not going to say that, but yes, he did cost me a diet change because I was a vegan. Then when my money got a little bit lower, I had to start making some recommendations and places where I should eat that was a lot more affordable and things like that. And it kind of made me like, okay, you son of a, you sat here and made me get through or do all this stuff, and and now look what happened. Now I have to go right back out here and try to find a whole nother job because of your stupidity, because of your unfairness, because of your wrongful termination. And I think the people that were that worked with me who fought this case with me, because yes, I was the only voice for a period of time. But because I was the only voice, then others started to open up and started to explain where they had a problem. And so I really felt, I felt appreciated and I felt valued and I felt trusted and I felt very, um, I felt very firsthand. That's a good one. I felt very firsthand because when people are really genuinely good and they know how to treat others and they know how to work nonstop without any problems, they come to work every day and they don't have any bad attendance. And one person might made a mistake, and I'm not gonna lie, I made a couple mistakes, a few mistakes at work, but it never outweighed other people's mistakes. So that's where um, I felt intimidated um, with the fact that he actually came to me with that so many times when it was literally not that many times that I had to deal with him coming to me with an issue that he clearly did not look at thoroughly. Um, says an employee that works for Deco who looks at things like that, who terminates people, but she didn't have any records on a database system indicating that I had these allegations against me because he didn't write anything, and he's never um, um, agreed to anything with her. This is why I said it was a wrongful termination. But he only did it because, again, I was the first one to make a statement with Human Resources. So that is an easy um, suspicion of why he would terminate me out of all the people there when I had good attendance and my production was where it should be, and at all times, that's what raised the red flags, and that his allegations came out of the middle of nowhere, right after I filed a complaint, right after. So that was the issue. So when I'm out there looking for a job, now I have to go figure out, this time when I go in for a job, I want to do a walkthrough and I want to walk around and I want to look and see the type of people that I would have to be working with, because I do not want to have to go through that phase again. Literally, I've just had it with trying to find a regular job. Like, a regular job or is not for everybody. It's not for everybody. And some people are way more advanced, that the environment may be a little bit overwhelming for other people to be around you. It's not always, if you're not comfortable at this place, you're not comfortable at that place, it's because of you. At the end of the day, it's because of, yeah, but some people, at the end of the day, it's going to be because of you, no matter what decision you make. But at the end of the day, you still have to look at why that good worker, that good person who works, why they don't feel comfortable in that position. So you have to think about that. Okay. Is this great worker the person that I know with common sense, with dignity, with integrity, with a kind heart? Does that person fit well working in this field with those type of people, with those type of personalities and those type of background? That's what you have to do and start realizing, where am I? Does the relationship with the boss or the coworkers reflect a good relationship on how this person indicates how they would resolve a problem or an issue or things like that? You have to think about a whole bunch of stuff. Now, when you're working in a field, like for instance, if you're working through a temp agency and you're used to having an actual job that was not, a real job, that wasn't a temp agency, like a real full-time personal job. Okay, so when you get to a temp agency, you're now up against working with other people there from different backgrounds, people who did not. You're going to work from different backgrounds, regardless. But when you're going through a temp agency, you're now placed in a field with people who had criminal records, people who have criminal records and still really don't know how to um, um, communicate as well as they should be communicating. You have to worry about some people who know how to act and work and don't know how to act in public. You have to worry about all these type of people from different aspects coming to work in one area, to where they don't care what background it was, just as long as we can get this job done, because this major company is going to pay us to give you guys just a little bit, so we don't really care. Just as long as you guys come work for us. You see, now you have to worry about being in that type of environment, and there's nothing wrong with that, because everybody's different. But I do not fit in. I'm not gonna say I don't fit in. Okay, I do not. A person like me, I need to be working in somewhere there's not a lot of drama. Boom. I don't want to work somewhere where there's a lot of drama. If I have to work somewhere to where I have to work at midnight and literally clean up all night so I won't have to be bothered by some people, then I will. But right now, I just say, this is going to be extremely, extremely hard because it's cold outside. And, well, it's not that it's cold, but it's not that cold. It's going to get colder. But my thing is that I have to go out there and seek employment again, all over again, just to get to where I need to go. So my thing is, if I'm not mistaken, so I have an Indeed account, and I have Snag a Job, and I have Glassdoor, And so I'm going back and forth from there, and also doing the applications through other websites and through first handed websites. So I mean, I'm out there looking again. I just really hate going through that process of looking for another job. Like I hate that process because that's the thing right there that I hate about looking for another job. You never really know what situation someone may be in that is requiring them to still look for another job. Like you have to look for a job today and you need it. You need the money today, but you have until you want an answer this week, but you might get the answer next week or the week after, and you see, and all that, and you don't know what that person might be in the middle of trying to manage while they are at home before they even get to work. And see, now I have to worry about that again. So that's why I'm highly strict on enforcing um, um, justice for African Americans who have been wrongly accused and um, of things they have not been they should not have been accused of doing. And I'm really strict on um, um, enforcing enforcing some light to shine on people who are literally racist. And doesn't matter how people feel about that, because I'm not the only one. Some people just need to know that, that they are not invisible. We're going to respect you. Yeah, people going to be who they are, but you need to let some people know that they're not invisible. We can see what you're doing. You see, so if you see any tension being built up with the other person, they might be respecting you, but they may not like, you may not like the fact that that person, or they may not like the fact that you are, um, are not looking as happy as you should, because obviously something has gone wrong with the person that was around them. And so that's why I say I have to go back out there. And I was going to go back to Ralph Lauren, but unfortunately I'm not, because I'm not going to lie to you. I was really heated over that phone. Didn't use any profanity, but I was really heated over that phone. And that's like so not me though. Um, but I had to let her know where I was going through, because she just didn't even continue with the investigation, because she wasn't even over there. She didn't even want to be a part of the investigation. Um, she didn't want nothing to do with it. She didn't say it. She just, like, everything that she did by not showing her innocence just depicted me to believe that she did not want anything to do with this investigation, and she just didn't want no part of it. So that's what happens. That's what happened. I don't know what else to say, what else to think, but I felt racism was going on, and I've dealt with racism before in my life. I've been encountered by racist people. So, you know, I've been through a lot now. Age is nothing but a number, but, I'm at the age now to where I know when racism is present. So when it's there, that's not something I would want to make up. If someone was being racist or not. I don't think anyone would just make that up. There's a reason why, you know, we talk about these things, because something needs to be um, um, seen. Something needs to be seen. And people go by that all day, every day, and don't even, um, acknowledge it. But it needs to be acknowledged when it's there, you guys. Because if you don't acknowledge it all the time, You don't have to do it all the time, but if you don't acknowledge it some of the time, then it's going to become the norm, and we can't let something like that become the norm, because there are good people out here in the world, and like me, and we need our jobs. We want our jobs. So I'm back out there looking for another job, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I think it's absolutely horrible. They should never, ever, ever. And I'm still fighting that to this day. He is not right now, currently, the boss that wrongfully terminated me. I made sure that he was um, um, dealt with by um, a high-ranking member of Ralph Lauren, because the tip agency had a higher ranking there, which was human resources, but they did not follow up with me until months after the investigation, and sent me one email just to let me know that they were still looking through it. So that's what made me call them back and speak with someone else that I cannot explain about on here. But she was able to assist me a whole lot better. And color has nothing to do with it, but again, it was a black lady who understood what I was saying, and the white lady or male who took forever to email me. I just read the name, so I already knew, and the names are just like looks, they can be deceiving too. You never know who it is, but I read the name, and I know that was a white person that took months to email me back. So yeah, you can see how some white people will just brush it under the table and like it didn't even happen. Once you have all the answers and documents and evidence to support why you were wrongfully accused, for you to get justice, when you're dealing with someone who was racist, then you have to worry about them pushing it under the table and stuff like that. The hidden racism, you guys, hidden racism is every day. I point it out more than anybody else does, but I point out hidden racism. Yeah, I point it out. But yeah, so I'm out there looking for another job and everything. So, um, I don't want to work somewhere to where I know a whole bunch of people. Like if I know a whole bunch of people in there, and I know you stay over there and you stay over here and blah blah blah, I don't want to be in that area. Um, Unless they are the type of people that I would consider good workers or good people to be around, like me. It's other people that just not like me, but they are similar because they go to work, they do what they do, they don't bother anybody, they don't, they do what they do and they come home. That's how we want to be. Not you go to work and you have to worry about racism and favoritism and things like that. It's just like people overlook the people that work really good, and the ones that don't work really good, there's something about them that kept them there. Either the boss is scared to say something about them, or they're doing something else with that person, that, you know what I'm saying, like they're engaging something else that keeps them um that keeps them together, something that keeps them together. It could be anything, literally, relationship wise, having an affair wise, a drug related thing, because you just don't, you put the pieces together, and you got people that's working at your job, and they're breaking rules and breaking rules, and you're following the rules and following the rules, and some people are following the rules also, but I'm talking about the ones who aren't. And for some odd reason, when you do one thing, it's hot water, but when they do one thing or something that they've been doing repeatedly, it's not hot water. It just makes you look at the picture um, in a bigger way. This is why I be telling people to look at the bigger picture, because there's something else going on now. If you're showing that much favoritism over someone, and you got a worker that comes to work every day, and they follow the attendance and they meet production and they're respectful, and you find it impossible to keep that person um, because of what you claim their wrongdoings were, but take it all the way back and keep the person that's doing something that's causing you to look bad, but your reason for doing that is because neither one of those people that you chose to look out for that was making you look bad, you chose to look out for them because they never wrote a statement against you. That is absolutely correct. I can see someone doing that. Okay. Now, if you cannot visualize someone doing that, then you don't have an imagination. Um, because I can visualize someone telling me something that happened to them at work, and I can visualize it in my head without me going through it, and just I can put the pieces together. And this is why I was able to testify with the Ralph Lauren agencies, because they have had this complaint with him more than once. So they knew where those pieces were being put together. They seen my production on computers, and seeing that it was being pushed under the table. So that's why I have my right to say racism, freedom of speech, but I felt racism was a part of that. So here it is. I'm out here looking for another job, and I really don't want to go to fast food. I've been done with fast food. I don't want to go to anywhere that's far. You know, I don't want to work anywhere that is paying us way more than we, you know, should be being paid. Um, I'm not delivering any pizza. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think if it's somewhere else. Let's see. Oh yeah. I think. Okay, Walmart. Okay, listen. I don't want to work at Walmart. Walmart is not a place for me. It's just too many people walking around and stuff. I just can't do it. If I work at Walmart, it has to be at nighttime, or if it's in my same city. Now, if I work at Walmart in another city, yeah, it's gonna have to be at nighttime, because it's too many people that I know, especially if it's in my own state, within my own city. I need to be working at night. If it's Walmart, because I don't like Walmart. No, and their application sucks. Like, you have to go cheat on the assessment just to get the right answers, and that is like so stupid. But they said the assessment is easy. I took the assessments like 2 or 3 times. Did not pass either one of those assessments. Target. I went to Target and took the assessment online. Did not pass that one. You see, I've took that multiple times. The questions started to change, and the order, of course, different, but the questions started to change. It's common sense. It's really easy. It's just that I just, after my first time, I was like, oh, okay. So you wanted me to answer like this. Second time I took it, I'm like, I thought I answered that in the correct way. And then the third time, I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to find another job. I'm not going to put up with this. I'm not. And then when I started, let's see, so Walmart and Target, those are the same type of assessment questions. They ask the longest. It's like, it's not even funny. They ask all that all them questions like that. And then the other one, anything else, like I don't even want. I'm just being honest with you. Anything else, I just need to find something that I can literally I don't even want. If I get full time, the job must needs to be worth me standing up on my feet for that for literally, because I've had over 13 jobs my entire life. I've worked a lot of jobs, and I do not want to go to another job that I am literally going to have to turn around and walk around and go to somewhere else. I don't like to just turn around, walk away from jobs. That's the reason why I got terminated, because I continued to work there. And then when I wrote a complaint about my boss, then that's when all of a sudden he wants to fire me because I made a complaint about it. But it was impossible for him to do that because I didn't have any reason for me to leave. So I knew for then that it was done, something was done under the table. So now I'm literally out here trying to find another job. But um, let's see. I don't mind going to like a hotel, doing room service. However, I'm getting a little bit upset that they keep putting women on a room service to clean up, like a man can't clean nothing, or like we can't, like we don't want no job that easy. She's like, well, there's a lot of stuff you can do. Yes, there's a lot of stuff to do, but really, it's not. What what more can you tell me if this product only allows it to be cleaned by this product, and that product only allows for you to be cleaned with this product, but you have to do it this way and that way, and each way have different. There's nothing rocket science. So I can't believe that lady at the housekeeping place told me that at the hotel here in High Point. So then she called me. So I wrote a review on Google, and I said, well, how come um this hotel only hire ghetto black women? And I'm sorry, I felt like every time I went there, it was a ghetto black lady behind the desk. I never been rude to say that to her, but I said it on my own time on social media. Not social media, but on a platform that required people to be social. Like it was like what I just say a Google review or something. Okay, I went on social media and talked about it too, but that was just for that one time. So the so then all of a sudden they call my phone back as soon as I put my application in. I'm like, no, you waited until I wrote about what I saw, because you're not invincible. I wrote about what I saw on there as a review, got some people to like it and comment and agree, and then all of a sudden you call me and you want me to work. No, because now you're gonna think I'm stupid. Now you read my comment on there, and as soon as you hire me, you're gonna try to, yeah, you're not gonna, I'm not, nope, not gonna let it happen. But I feel literally some type of way. But I have to go real quick, and I'll have to go out there and find a whole nother job. I will have to stay on here for a lot longer. But unfortunately, I have to wrap this up. I've been on here for almost an hour. So, yeah, I have to go back out there and look for a whole nother job, you guys. A whole nother job. So, wish me luck out there, and just wish me luck out there, guys, because I'm about to. It's getting cold. It's literally like near December. It's November. Thanksgiving is next week, and I'm out here trying to find another job again because this idiot terminated me. That's why I don't show no sympathy or no remorse for someone who I know is racist. See you guys.